Okay, so we're about to dive into a revolution that's happening all around us, but it's so quiet you might not even notice it. It's happening inside our homes, our cities, and even our own bodies. It's called the Internet of Things, or IoT, and it's connecting our physical world to the internet in some pretty mind-blowing ways. So let's get into it. Just imagine for a second, what if every single object you own had a voice? What if your coffee maker knew the exact moment your alarm went off and started brewing for you? Or what if a bridge on your daily commute could send out an alert that it needed repairs, long before it became dangerous? You know, this might sound like science fiction, but it's not. It's the whole idea behind the Internet of Things, giving a digital voice to our physical world. So, what is it really? What's the official definition? Well, think of it this way. We're taking ordinary, everyday things, could be a light bulb, could be a massive shipping container, and we're giving them two things, a tiny digital brain and a connection to the internet. This lets them collect information and, more importantly, talk to each other. It's a really simple concept, but its implications are going to change the world.
To really wrap your head around this, let's start with where it's most familiar, our own lives. We're going to look at how IoT is already, right now, making your life just a little bit smarter.
You know, the chances are pretty high you're already living with IoT. I mean, when you ask your smart speaker to turn down the lights, that's the IoT at work. That fitness tracker on your wrist that's counting your steps and checking your heart rate? Yep, that's IoT too. It's this incredible technology that just seamlessly weaves itself into the background of our lives, from the couch in our living room to the desks in our classrooms.
And this quote right here, it really gets to the core of why IoT is so important. See, it's not just about convenience. In healthcare, for example, a smart glucose monitor can send an instant alert to a doctor and maybe even a family member the second a patient's levels become dangerous. It's about using all this connectivity to actively protect people and make our lives better.
Okay, so we've seen IoT in our personal world. Now, let's zoom out. Let's go from a single home to an entire city. How does this same tech work when you scale it up to a huge, sprawling urban area?
A smart city is basically taking its own pulse 24/7. You've got sensors buried in the roads that can change traffic lights in real time to clear up congestion. Smart power grids can reroute electricity during peak hours to prevent blackouts. It's all about using a massive citywide network of data to make life safer, cleaner, and just plain better for everyone who lives there.
This is the perfect way to think about it. A city's digital nervous system. All those sensors are like nerve endings, right? They're sensing everything from traffic patterns to air pollution. Then that information travels to a central brain that processes it all and can react instantly, kind of like a reflex. It lets the city behave less like a clunky machine and more like a living, breathing organism.
So our journey keeps getting bigger. We went from the home to the city, and now we're looking at the very backbone of our economy, industry. And in this world, IoT isn't just about making things a little smarter. It's about completely reinventing how things get made.
But before we get into all the cool applications, how does it even work at this massive scale? Well, it boils down to a really simple but really powerful loop. First, you have sensors that collect data from the physical world. Second, that data gets processed, usually up in the cloud. And third, devices called actuators take a physical action based on that data. We're talking a valve shutting off or a robotic arm changing its movement. Collect, process, act. That's the cycle.
And that simple collect, process, act loop, that's the engine behind what many are calling Industry 4.0, the fourth industrial revolution. In a smart factory, that means a machine can actually predict when it's going to need maintenance. On a farm, it means a drone can tell an irrigation system exactly which plants need water. It's all about using real-time data to make our industries smarter and more precise than we ever thought possible.
So that's the world of IoT as we know it today. And it's already completely transforming our lives. But what happens when we push all this connectivity even further? I mean, what does the next frontier of all this even look like?
If you want to understand the future of IoT, you have to understand its fuel. And that fuel is data. Just unbelievable amounts of it streaming in real time, from billions of connected devices. Because without this constant flow of information, the things in the Internet of Things are, well, just things.
And if data is the fuel, then this is the engine. All that information has to go somewhere to get processed, and that's where cloud computing and these enormous data centers come in. They are the invisible giants that do all the heavy lifting, sifting through all the noise, finding the important patterns, and turning all that raw data into intelligent actions. Without this engine, the fuel is useless.
And all this infrastructure, It's paving the way for technologies that still sound like they're straight out of a movie. A truly immersive metaverse, for example, is going to need to map our physical world with billions of IoT sensors. Fully self-driving cars won't just see the road, they'll talk to the road and to other cars and to the traffic lights. These future technologies aren't just going to use IoT, they're going to be built on it.
Which, of course, leads us to what might be the single most important question of all. We've seen the incredible potential, the amazing promise of connecting our world. But this question is one we all have to think about. When everything is connected, who's in control? Who's in control of all that data? Who gets to set the rules? It's a question about technology, for sure, but it's also about power, about privacy, and about the kind of future we really want to build. Definitely something to think about.